What's going on, Yugi Tube? James here again. Giving you guys a deck profile on my in-game return to locals. When it comes to the matchups for the tournaments, 4 rounds in, it was 2 Yubel, which I lost to both of those times because they popped off like crazy. And of course, shout outs to my Yubel opponents, for that matter, for popping off like no tomorrow. And then the rest of the other matchups were Drytron, and then I'm going to assume Labyrinth was the other, but I don't even know what the last one could have been. But anywho, I organized the deck profile for you guys. It is the new and improved Vernusylph Madolche for one. I mean, if anybody has been watching the Master Duel content as of late about Vernusylph Madolche for one, you guys can check it out from the playlist, for which I'll have it in the links below. So basically, we shouldn't be able to pretty much go through no further on the deck list of Vernusylph Madolche. And with that being said, let's jump into the deck profile. I won't be able to talk about as much about what the cards be do, but I'll have the playlist again somewhere in the description below. So for the Vernusylphs, 2 Flourish Hills, 2 Awakening Forests, 2 Misting Seedlings, Thawing Mountains, Flowering Fields, Vera, Vernusylph Goddess. Vera happened to stole me a game versus Yubel, because in any situation where if I expect to see Nightmare Pain on the field along with any of the Yubels, like once I play through their negates or find a way to turn them off, this is where Vera can actually take their Yubels or take any monster that's not an Earth, and it becomes an Earth, which is downright crazy. So Vera puts in a little of the work in terms of the Vernusylph engine, but she stole me a game. Vernusylph Corolla, 2 Changing Seasons, and 1 Flower Buds. That's that for the Vernusylphs. And then the Madolches, 3 Madolche Mageline, aka Madolines, 2 Penning Sisters, aka Pudding Sisters, 2 Angelies, aka Angel Jellies, 2 Hoot Cakes, aka Hot Cakes. Card is okay, because if I happen to see one, then with the help of the Vernusylph monsters, there's no need to worry about wasting the real normal summon to some degree. And then the 2 Messenger Gelatos, don't want to draw those ever. But at the same time, if you already have a Beast Madolche on the field, you can just have the Vernusylphs, the lower level Vernusylphs. In terms of the discard and the reborns, they let you fix your field and able to keep your search 9 times out of 10 consistently. And then Pudding Princess, once again, don't draw the card ever. That's the real brick. And I understand Madolche fans in general technically don't play this card, but at the same time, that's usually meant for a la mode to some degree. And then Chateau, Salon, Ticket, 1 Promenade. It used to be 2. Now that we got the new card, Madolche Dessert, coming out, this makes it so that Dessert is one of the most stupidest traps ever printed, aside from searchable by Messenger Gelato. When it comes to Madolche Dessert, 1 effect per turn and only once that turn. So 1 effect or the other, can't do both. You either target 2 effect monsters anywhere on the field, including at least 1 Madolche, return those effect monsters to the hand / extra deck, then you can special 1 Madolche monster from your hand or extra deck with attack less than or equal to the total original attack of those return monsters. That's all in one effect for the first effect. And then effect number 2 says, if a Madolche card, spells and traps included, is shuffled from your graveyard into the deck, extra deck, while this card is in your graveyard, outside of the damage step, it is a +1 material. And Dessert is one of the most stupidest Madolche traps ever printed. And then for the different engine, non-engine, I suppose. Well, hand traps, technically. Ghost Belle, she's an earth. So that way your Vernusylph restrictions do not matter at the slightest. And then 3 Imperms, literally the only main deck hand traps I play. And then the non-engine, Earth Statue, gotta pair it up with the Vernusylphs. 3, Forbidden Chalice. Chalice was seen all day throughout the course of locals. So that way, turning off their Yubel's destruction in terms of quick effects or turning off their negates is absolutely crazy. And then call by talents. And then extra deck. Madolche Fresh Sister Tart. Another newest Madolche card. Madolche Mini Meowcaroons. Link 3, Earth Beast with 2300 attack as a Link 3. 2 or more effect monsters, including a Madolche, is what it takes to make it. And the arrows, all 3 bottom arrows, which is really, really good. Bottom left, bottom middle, bottom right. When it comes to Mini Meowcaroons, each effect once. First chance that it gets Link summoned, add 1 Madolche card of any kind, spell, trap, or monster included, from deck to hand. And then target 1 monster in your graveyard. Doesn't got to be Madolche, but target 1 monster in your graveyard of any kind. Special summon 1 Madolche monster from your hand, and if you do, shuffle that target into the deck. Also, you cannot activate monster effects for the rest of this turn except Madolche monsters. So, to make sure in terms of the effect restrictions to Madolches in any combo line builds, always make sure you use your Vernusylph effects first before the Mini Meowcaroons reshuffle and special effect comes up. And that card is insanity, by the way. Especially if you have Messenger Gelato stuck in your hand. Mini Meowcaroons can literally fix that because Mini Meowcaroons also indeed a beast, which is nice. 2 Teacher Soufflés. 2 Chocolate a la Modes. 2 Tiramisus, the good old OG secret rarity form. Technically, it's a reprint, but you know what I mean. The good old secret and quarter century tiramisu. This is the best card in the extra deck, no questions asked. Madolche Queen Tiara Phrase, the newest Madolche joining up to the ranks, as in Tiara Phrase can be Shoken by having 1 Madolche Queen Tiramisu on top. Basically, it's like one of those Utopia things in terms of ranking up. And in this one, for Tiara Phrase is literally Madolche Queen Tiramisu, but during your opponent's turn. The case is, once per opponent's turn as a quick effect, target detach 1, target 2 Madolche cards, if I recall correctly, because this is super new, so let me just go ahead and take one off there real fast. Once per opponent's turn as a quick effect,
Detach one, target up to 2 Madolche cards in your graveyard, spells and traps included. Shuffle them into the deck. Also, shuffle up to the same number of cards your opponent controls into the deck. And then if this card in your possession gets killed by opponent's card and sent to the graveyard, put this back to the extra deck. And then Tier of Phrase is really, really good to some degree because if I expect them to activate field spells or continuous spells, checking in with the Tier of Phrase to make sure not only the cards will not get destroyed, but they will end up resolving without a Fed. Especially the fact that if you have Teacher Souffle on the field, on the same field with the Tier of Phrase and the Sister Tart, the link to, this is basically like one of the heaviest defenders board setups to some degree. And if your opponent doesn't have any answers to take care of the Holy Trinity boards with the Madolche spells and traps, then this is basically game over on the spot. So, and then for the rest of the extra deck monsters that's not Madolche related, the rest of them are Earths, so that way you're not restricted. Baguska, Gaga Cowboy, Drill Driver Vespinato, Asa, Geonator Transverser. And then sideboard, Keto, Modora, the two Ishizus, Harpy's Feather Duster, Mechanical Hound. When it comes to Mechanical Hound, you gotta have no cards in your hand to make sure that Mechanical Hound prevents your opponent playing spells, which is insane. And then Token Collector, this is meant for the likes of Sword Soul or Nibiru, because the moment they gave me a token, or the moment a token triggers, Token Collector comes out and you should be able to keep them capitalized to some degree. 2 Cosmic Cyclones, and then the Power Traps, 2 Trap Tricks, Triple D Barrier, and then you also got 2 Disturbance Strategies and Protector of the Sanctuary. For the Disturbance and Protector Sanctuary, if this whole hand loop resolves, you basically win the game. With that being said, this is James Polk on this unique Vernusylph Madolche. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And if you haven't already, smash the notification bell to keep yourself constantly updated. And we'll catch you guys throughout the course of Infinite Forbidden Format in TCG.